Welcome to another installment of Deconstructing Babylon, where we discern the signs and symbols of the mystery religion of Hollywood Babylon. I'm the Discerning Clerk, and I use a biblical framework to deconstruct my favorite movies from the 90s.
Noticed your eyeglasses. They don't have any lenses in them.
They're my dad's. The lenses hurt my eyes.
I sometimes think that my conclusions of symbolism I see in movies are reaching. Other times, I don't think I give enough context and leave the audience confused. Neither of those things are what I want, especially leading anyone into confusion. My goal has always been to uncover hidden truths, reveal blatant lies, and encourage all of you to grow in discernment through the study of God's Word. I don't have all the answers, and I will never claim to. I'm still learning, and the more I seek Yahweh, the more I love His Word, and turn my back on the world whose only aim is to deceive. When I say I deconstruct my favorite movies from the 90s, I do it as a way to tear down idols and share it with a people still deceived by Hollywood. I truly have always loved movies, as I came up in the 90s. These weren't just my formative years, but contain the stories that shaped my view of the world and my view of the Most High. Even after becoming a Christian, I relied on movies so much to teach me about what I believed and why. It wasn't until recently that I have learned to detect these lies and how important it is not to let them shape my views anymore. I pray Yahweh reveals His truth to you as well, should He see fit to do so. Today's selection is Dumb and Dumber, as you already know by the title. And you might think that this fluff movie is only meant to make the audience laugh, and perhaps it is. Maybe this movie from the Farrelly brothers is the first to have no symbolism or underlying messaging. The question is, are you brave enough to stick around and find out with me? Are you willing to tear down the idol built by Hollywood Babylon? Dumb and Dumber was released in 1994 and was given a 4-star rating from the Video Movie Guide, which is the resource we used at Blockbuster in the late 1900s, before we had IMDb. Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels may be to the 1990s what Laurel and Hardy were to the 1930s, and Abbott and Costello were to the 1940s, the greatest comedy duo of their era. Certainly they work extremely well together in this hilarious story of two dim bulbs who unwittingly become involved in a high-stakes kidnapping scheme. It's all low humor, yet you laugh in spite of yourself. Rated PG-13. According to these writers, I guess there wasn't a comedy duo for 50 years. Thank God for Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels for ending a decades-long comedy drought. But I digress. Lowbrow humor, in fact, does appeal to a large audience, but the fact that this movie spawned 2 cinematic sequels and remains a cult classic is the real mystery here. Let's just see what we see in Dumb and Dumber. The movie opens on a street sign that says Hope Street, maybe framing what we are about to see as hopeful. As a group of people wait at a bus stop, a dark limousine pulls up in front of an attractive woman. We meet Lloyd Christmas, one of our beloved dim bulbs who is clearly trying to impress this young woman in front of a brick wall, which is a pointer to Freemasons, the original builders of the nation, and deep participants in the mystery religion.
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Lloyd isn't the passenger in the limo, but the hired driver, replete with black and white dual uniform and chauffeur's hat. He drives by our other dim bulb, Harry Dunn, who is dressed like a shaggy dog, drives a shaggy dog van, and runs a mobile dog grooming service. A dog in a movie is a symbol for God, using the occultic law of reversal. This symbolism is very strange, but I suppose it makes sense with Dumber. Harry wears a dog costume, making him a terrible counterfeit, and his van and business all point to his whole identity being wrapped up in a counterfeit deity and belief system. Lloyd eventually arrives to pick up his real passenger, Mary Swanson, who also happens to be wearing black and white with a black hat.
Name's Christmas. Lloyd Christmas.
I'm Mary Swanson.
I know you know their names are important to the Roman Catholic Church. Mary is the mother of Jesus, and Christmas being their institution to venerate the virgin birth of Messiah.
Something like that.
Mary is traveling to Aspen, Colorado, not for business or pleasure, but to leave a ransom.
There's our payday.
Lloyd intervenes in the drop, ensuring Mary boards with all her luggage, but it's too late. Though the criminals responsible won't let their money go that easily, and they follow Lloyd to the home he shares with Harry.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Joe, called Mental, and Shay are the duo after the money in the briefcase that Lloyd currently has. And Harry and Lloyd escape, believing the two are from the gas company for an unpaid bill. When Harry and Lloyd return, they get more bad news.
We got no food, we got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
They decide to leave Rhode Island for Colorado, which is a very long drive. Not sure how they'll afford the road trip, but they go across the country in Harry's dog van and leave a note for the criminals.
They gotta be pros.
The dummies stop at a diner on their road trip, and this lunch date contains so much symbolism. A reference to the Beatles, a checkerboard tablecloth, and then superstition about spilling salt.
You spilled the salt. That's what's the matter. Spilling the salt is very bad luck.
This belief actually dates back to ancient Rome, and even prior to that with Da Vinci's painting of the Last Supper depicting Judas Iscariot spilling the salt. He infamously went on to betray Messiah to Rome. Salt was an important mineral in ancient days and remains so to this day. Jesus compares his followers to being salt of the earth, as a metaphor for preserving his word and giving flavor to a bland and unsaved world.
All right, that's what he wants.
Meanwhile, in Aspen, Mary gets the news that the criminals never got the ransom she left. It's her husband, Bobby, who's been kidnapped and hasn't been released because of this. Mary, her friends, and their legal counsel, Nicholas, are planning an animal preservation benefit gala. These people are rich, like an obscene amount of money. We never learn how much the ransom is, but it must be substantial.
If the press or the authorities get wind of this, the kidnappers may panic.
While on the road, Lloyd has a prophetic dream about Mary being the hero in her life. When Messiah was baptized by his cousin John, a dove descended from heaven, representing the Holy Spirit of peace. This is very much giving false Trinity imagery: the dove, the Christ, and Mary. Harry and Lloyd stop for the night, and Joe and Shay are right on their tail. Literally. They check in with their boss, Mr. Andre, who happens to be the lawyer for the family of the kidnapped man. Nicholas is the true criminal here.
Man, all these jokers have got a lot of money and it belongs to me.
Joe gets close to Harry and Lloyd to try to figure out what they know and who they're working for.
Mock, yeah, ing, yeah, bird, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They end up at a restaurant called Dante's Inferno, a pretty blatant reference to the first part of the Divine Comedy and the author's allegorical journey through the 9 circles of hell. We've seen this reference in a few movies. It's persistent enough to recognize, but I'm not sure what it means for the mystery religion, or for this film.
Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It's been a joke throughout that Joe has a severe ulcer for which he takes medication. When Harry and Lloyd prank him by putting hot peppers in his food, they accidentally poison him with the same poison he planned to give them. A true comedy of errors.
1 minute you're chewing on a burger, the next minute you're dead meat.
Next thing you know, the feds are on the case. Maybe because Joe is wanted in other states, or maybe because Harry and Lloyd have crossed state lines with a substantial ransom. The police set up a roadblock to catch them, but Harry and Lloyd avoid it once again due to a wrong turn.
Huh. I expected the Rocky Mountains to be a little rockier than this.
There is a brief shot of a Porsche 911 passing them on the snowy highway, and this is a Babylonian symbol of the terror attack on the Twin Towers. They finally arrive in the touristy mountain town.
We're there.
When all hope seems lost for our anti-heroes, they manage to open the briefcase full of money.
Whatever we borrow, we pay back. Absolutely. We're good for it. Where's our bond?
And the guys spend to their heart's desire.
This is living, huh?
They soon learn of the benefit gala and remember their reason for driving all the way to Aspen in the first place.
Come on, Cinderella, we gotta get you ready for the ball.
We get a montage of Harry and Lloyd getting ready, and the tuxedos they choose aren't just comical, but quite symbolic. Lloyd wears orange, like the sun, and Harry wears blue, like the moon. This is duality disguised as foolishness. Their walking canes and top hats point to the Masons once again.
Jesus Christ.
The gala is to benefit an endangered species of snow owl. The owl is an important symbol for the mystery religion. It's associated with ancient wisdom, Greek theology, and is even the primary symbol for Ishtar, the queen of heaven. The snowy owl in particular are massive birds of prey. I've seen one in flight in the wild, and I truly thought it was a crane at first. The wingspan is so vast.
Nice set of hooters you got there.
I beg your pardon?
The owls are beautiful.
After Harry and Mary make a connection, they hip the slopes together, while Lloyd mistakenly believes he has a date with her and waits for her all day at the hotel bar. I happen to notice a framed article on the wall in the bar. Man walks on the moon. So why is that there?
No way.
That's great.
We landed on the moon!
There's a continuity error with Mary's outfit when she's with Harry. She starts the day wearing a black puffer coat and black ear warmers. Later in the day, she wears a blue coat and blue ear warmer. This is more duality with Harry's orange outfit, but reversed from the tuxedos previously seen. Now Harry is the sun and Mary is the moon. There's also a star of Ishtar on this blue coat Mary wears. Mary is the Roman Catholic Queen of Heaven, and Ishtar is her name in Sumeria. Lloyd witnesses Harry with Mary, and he feels betrayed. Not only did Harry lie to him, but Harry knows the feelings Lloyd has for her, and has taken his place with her. Harry continues to lie to his best friend so he can go to dinner with Mary, and Lloyd sabotages Harry's night out of hurt and betrayal, it seems.
1/2 teaspoon for fast, effective relief.
This prank gives audiences one of the most memorable, funniest, and quite frankly grossest scenes in a movie ever. Lloyd interrupts and finally does what he sets out to do, returns Mary's briefcase.
And I know how frustrating it can be to lose a bag.
It all comes to a head when Nicholas shows up with a weapon, revealing himself as the mastermind behind the kidnapping. Harry is stopped from going in by an FBI agent who's been on the case since Rhode Island. When Nicholas finally tries to claim his ransom, he learns there's no money left. Harry and Lloyd have spent it all.
That's as good as money, sir. Those are IOUs. Go ahead and add it up. Every cent's accounted for. Look. See this? That's a car. 275,000. Might want to hang on to that one.
In the end, the feds get their man, Nick, and woman, Shay. Harry and Lloyd reconcile their friendship, and the hostage is brought home to his wife.
Oh, hi, Bobby. Hi. I'm so happy for you.
The movie ends with Harry and Lloyd back on the road, back to having nothing but each other. And the last image is an empty, winding road with only the two friends headed home. Nothing has changed for them. They've learned nothing, but their friendship remains the same. So what do we think? Did we see some symbolism and underlying messaging even in this lowbrow comedy? I'd say so. While there wasn't a ton of 9/11 programming, the duality of Freemasonry was present throughout. Besides in the two friends, the costumes is what really gave this away for me. Black and white duality when the movie started, then sun and moon colors toward the end. When it comes to Freemasonry, duality is a massive theme, which shows up in the pillars Boaz and Jachin. We typically see black and white, blue and red, or orange in this case, as sun and moon, male and female, blonde and brunette, which we saw all of those throughout. The names of Mary and Lloyd Christmas were pointing to a false messiah and virgin worship. Both are present within the Roman Catholic Church that is also rooted in Freemasonry. Ultimately, it makes me wonder if it's just about the actors cast in these roles or the creators of this story and characters, who are Peter and Bobby Farrelly. Who are the Masons involved here? Finally, the sheepdog imagery that was present throughout, and Harry not only dressed as a dog, but driving a van dressed as a dog. This tells me the view of the Most High is important to Harry. It's his identity. It's immature and dumb even, but that's kind of the point. It's like fair weather Christians who only make it seem like outwardly they worship Yahweh. But when Lloyd trades Harry's dog van for a mini bike, it doesn't bother Harry in the slightest.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
It feels like a burden lifted. And that's the message the world really sends the church. When life gets hard, just trade in your God for something that serves you better, even if it doesn't. Don't be deceived, true believer. Your life will not be better if you forsake the Most High. The Bible, particularly in the Psalms and Proverbs, speaks much about the fool. It tells the ways of the foolish man and the consequences of being a fool. It contrasts the life of a fool with the choices of the wise. This movie made it seem like the choices of the fools always worked out in their favor. There were no real consequences for Harry and Lloyd, but there was no change either. No character arc, no lesson learned. The symbol of wisdom, the owls, even are destroyed by these fools. The way the world responds to these fools is appropriate. They don't have much patience for them. But for those who endure, even enable them, end up in their wake of unconscious destruction, and the result is fatal at worst and detrimental at best. So that's all I have for this one. Hopefully you made it to the end. Give it a thumbs up if you agree and a thumbs down if you disagree. Subscribe to the channel if you want to, but don't follow me. Follow the one who saves you. And until next time, keep looking up.
Oh. I hate goodbyes.